welcome back to the Crafty Meraki YouTube channel. It's Erica with you today, and we are yet again going to use the lovely Elegance Hot Foil Plaid. Yes, I know, I still cannot get enough of it. So today we're also going to be hot foiling, well, I'd already said that, but we're going to be foiling with some matte gold, and I have my Fiskars textile cutters to cut my foil. The twist in today's card making is that I'm actually going to be using some well, what do you call this, satin effect card. So this is not white cardstock, it's called burnished rose. This is from Tonic Studios. I don't even know if this one is available yet because I tend to hoard my cardstock for such a long time that sometimes it runs out of stock. But what we're going to do today is we're going to foil some matte gold foil onto this. And I thought we'd do it all in real time as well, just to kind of, you know, give you all an idea of like my process and stuff. So first of all, and by we, I mean me, but you know what I mean. So I've had my Glimmer hot foil machine on for, it's got to be a good few minutes now. And I popped my plate on as soon as I turned it on. So it's been heating up for a long time. Now it's telling me that the platform is ready. So we are going to take our foil out and we're going to just roll it out like so. And we're going to just measure sort of loosely how much we're going to need for this. And then we're going to pop our blade out and we're just going to run this over like so. And that is the easy peasy trick of cutting foils. So if you have one of these already, there's no need to kind of spend your money on like extra fancy foil cutters and stuff, because scissors are a real pain in the behind to use when it comes to cutting foil. So I don't recommend doing that. However, if you don't have anything else, use those. So now we're going to pop this foil down and we're going to pop it down on the, oops, I forgot the thing. Yeah, so we're going to cut off a corner like so. And then we're going to pop the foil down, pretty side down. So the shiny side is going to go down. And then we're going to take our spare little pieces here. And they are going to cover those little leaves that stick out. And then we're going to take our cardstock here and we're going to pop this down right on top. And then as soon as you do that, I pop my shims down on top. And then we press the timer. And I'm going to leave this here to make, hopefully it's not going to flutter so crazily. And then while that is heating up, I think it's about 20 seconds odd or so. I have already taken my other sandwich platform out of my die cutting machine. I personally have the Spellbinders Platinum 6. And the reason I got that when my other previous die cutting machine died is because I already had the Glimmer machine. So it's kind of a, yeah, they work together really well. So we are almost, oops, at the timer here. And then another thing I like to do whenever I'm hot foiling, bearing in mind now that this is a complete experiment. I have never tried this cardstock before to foil on, so it's going to be very, very interesting. But what I like to do is when the timer goes off, I pull it off right away and I pop it through my die cutting machine. But that kind of motion belies the fact that we're going to take it slow and steady. So we don't want to rush that process. But now the timer says it's ready. So what we're going to do is we're going to just pull this off to the side a little bit. And then we're going to pull this off and we're going to pop it into our die cutting machine. And then we're going to very slowly and gently just roll this through. And hopefully we're going to see some magic once this is done. Now, sometimes I run it through twice, sometimes I don't. And I think this time we are just going to do it once. So we are going to just roll through like so. And then we're going to put this to the side and we're going to take this whole thing and we're going to pop it straight back onto our machine or platform here, so that it keeps heating up. And then we're going to see if this worked. So let's see. Oh my. Ooh, okay. Hello, hello. Oh, that is super pretty. Wow. Okay. Oh, this is so hard to show without the camera picking up on the lights flickering like crazy. But wow, just believe me when I say it, wow. Okay, we're gonna see if I can use my super tanned hands and kind of counteract all that light and stuff. But wow, look at that. And it foiled absolutely perfectly everywhere as well. And the only thing, you can't even actually tell, because I know some people are worried that when you cut off pieces and you kind of puzzle them together, it's gonna look patchy. But okay, well, we're gonna use the help of this as well to counteract that balance. But this is the area where the foil was overlapping, and as you can see, oh, I really hope you can see, it is flickering like crazy, but it is perfectly smooth and gorgeous. So that was a revelation. Okay, we're gonna turn this into a card now. And can we get a woohoo for coordinating die cuts? Yes, thank you. All right, so here is our final die cut piece as well. And don't call me crazy, or do. It's up to you. But I made two because I had an idea and I thought I'd show it to you. And I can't keep flicking these because they're just catching the light like crazy. But I mean, look at this. Ooh, gorgeousness. Okay, so we have 1 and 2. And then I have, with the Crafty Plaid cover die, I have cut out a piece out of white. Ooh, okay, here we go again with the craziness. And I didn't actually get out all of the pieces. I just glued this down onto a card base. And then I did the same thing with the same color cardstock here. Now, again, don't call me crazy. Or maybe do. I don't know. I don't know how these are going to turn out. But I had the idea that we just kind of try them out and see what works and what doesn't. And I figured if I have the pieces here, might as well make 2 cards, right? So we are going to use one with the kind of brushed rose, or we're going to call it rose gold, just to keep it simple. So one with the rose gold Crafty Plaid, and then with one white Crafty Plaid background. And then I have also, I've stamped and cut out 2 sentiments. So I used the same one because I thought we're going to do everything the same except for some of the colored bits. So, you know, just for research. Let's call it research. So these are propped up with a little bit of foam tape, and then I'm also going to show you a couple of tricks of how to like give a little bit of dimension to the flowers. So sometimes, especially with the bigger pieces, it's difficult to get them to sort of stick really, really flat, and sometimes you don't want them super flat. So you want a little bit of height to give that sort of texture and dimension. So there's a couple of ways you can do this. So the first way is to use something like foam tape or foam sheet. So on this one, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to try not to let it go crazy. We are going to use the die cut, and we are going to kind of try to cut out a bit of a shape here. So we're not going to go all the way out. We are just going to kind of add a little bit of a stable base for the flowers. Oh, I thought I had my cover on that. So we're just gonna cut this out quickly with scissors. And if you have the type of foam sheet that doesn't get kind of mangled when you run it through your die cutting machine, you could always just like directly on top of the sheet like this, just cut out and you get a perfect shape. Just bear in mind that not all foam sheets are made the same. So it can be a little bit of trial and error. Now, if you don't have access to any of that, and you don't like foam tape for whatever reason, you know, everybody has their likes and their dislikes, you can cut out extra pieces out of just cardstock. So this is actually 3 pieces of Nina 110-pound cardstock. So it's already quite sturdy cardstock. But what we're going to do, we are going to add these together with a little bit of liquid adhesive, and then we're going to pop this flower on top, and it's going to give a really nice solid and thick base for our image. So depending on how thick you like it, I mean, this is going to be 4 pieces altogether. You can just go 1 to give it the slightly extra kind of sturdiness. I'm gonna go crazy and we are gonna add all 4. So I'm gonna do that quite quickly and then we're gonna put the rest of these together. And I'm thinking no bling because it's already so shiny and sparkly, but you never know until it's all over. So let's not count our chickens yet. So when you are layering up pieces like this, especially the ones that have kind of like a fine detailed edge, it's always a good idea to use a liquid adhesive because it just gives you a little bit of extra time to kind of line them up perfectly. Now with the foam sheet piece, I also used some of the sort of excess pieces to kind of cut out some little bits for the leaves that are sticking out to make sure that it's more stable all over the card. And then we're going to add these and trim off the excess, and then we're going to look at the bling. So here are the 2 cards sort of finished. I say sort of because I haven't decided on whether I'm going to add the bling or not. And I don't know. I kind of want to and I kind of don't. I want to show myself or prove to myself that I can step outside of the box and not use bling on every single thing. But it's proving increasingly difficult. So I'm going to put you darling babies over there for a second so you don't distract me. And then looking at these 2, I am immediately drawn to this one more than this one. And I think it's just for the simple fact that you can really see this background more against this white one. But, and I honestly don't feel like it's taking away too much from the flowers. But I don't know, which one do you like best? I would absolutely love to know, and especially like what is it that instantly draws you to one or the other. So I would love to find that out. And I am, I don't know. So these are the Mystic Topaz. And as you can see, I have been working my way through these. And I feel like these are probably the closest to kind of like a rose gold out of all of my bling. I was kind of thinking of maybe the prismatic purple, but I think it's too different, or too pink maybe, or too purpley. So I think, you know what, I'm going to surprise myself and I am going to put the lid on both of these pots, and I'm gonna say I'm done. I hope you've loved this video enough to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the Crafty Meraki YouTube channel, because if you like foiling, you are going to want to be here next week because there is a new release coming and I am super excited. So yes, definitely hit that subscribe button and the bell button.